All right, if you're a small business owner and you feel like you're just stuck, constantly grinding away and not getting anywhere, then this is for you. We're going to break down a pretty brutally honest business philosophy for owners who are ready for a real change.
This quote, it really cuts to the core of what's so wrong with most sales strategies these days. It used to be all about the hard sell, right? But today, it's all about creating trust before you even think about making a sale. Trying to sell to a complete stranger is like asking for sex on a first date. It's just not a strategy for long-term success. So, let's get real about that daily grind, shall we? That constant chase. You're always waiting for that one big break. But deep down, you know you're the only one keeping that engine running. It's an exhausting, endless hunt for the next customer.
And what does everyone tell you to do? Just throw money at Google and Facebook and hope for the best. But here's the thing, hope is not a business strategy. When you do that, you're basically handing the keys to your business over to these huge platforms. And their algorithms, they can change overnight, and boom, you're left with nothing.
And this is what we call the hunter's trap. And it is painful. You're constantly chasing new leads, completely dependent on platforms you have zero control over. Your customer acquisition costs just keep climbing, and here's the worst part. You're not building any real lasting asset. You're just renting traffic from a landlord who could kick you out tomorrow without a second thought. Okay, so what's the alternative? How do you get out of this trap? Well, it takes a fundamental shift in your mindset. Seriously, stop hunting for food out in the woods and learn how to grow your own. It's time to stop chasing complete strangers and start cultivating the single most valuable asset you already have, your existing customer relationships. And when you put them side by side, the difference is, well, it's night and day, really. Hunting, that's all about chasing strangers for these one-time, totally unpredictable sales. But farming is about cultivating real relationships. It's about getting loyal, repeat business. It's sustainable, it's controllable, and it builds a business with real value, an asset that you and only you actually own. So, let's define this farming method. It's all about building your business on a solid foundation of trust. And listen, your most valuable asset, it's not your website traffic, it's not your social media following, it is your customer database. Because think about it, a social following can literally disappear overnight, but a customer list, that's yours forever. And here's a perfect real-world example of just how valuable that asset is. When the online retailer Made.com went under, another company next swooped in. And what did they want? One thing above all else, the customer database. Why? Because buying that list is way, way cheaper than trying to find all those same customers again through paid ads. It's a tangible, sellable asset. Okay, so maybe you're sold on the philosophy. You're thinking, all right, I get it. Farming, not hunting. But how do you actually do it? Well, the great news is that modern tech makes building your own digital farm easier and way more affordable than it's ever been. You don't need some huge team or a massive budget. You just need the right tools. And here's the blueprint. It's really just 4 pillars. First, build your database at every single opportunity. This is your soil, right? This is what everything grows from. Second, get an e-commerce shop up and running so you can make sales 24/7, even while you're sleeping. Third, automate your outreach. Use email and SMS to follow up, make offers, and build that trust automatically. And finally, number 4, create valuable content. Position yourself as the expert they can't live without. So why is this so incredibly powerful? Well, check out this stat. Getting customers who already know you, who already trust you, to come back and buy again, it's 80% more profitable than finding new ones. Let me put it another way. If you had a machine where you could put $1 in and get $30 back, how many dollars would you put in? All of them, right? That is the power of farming. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Is this just another marketing trend? And it's so easy to dismiss it as that. But here's the thing. While the tools we're using are new, the principles, they're absolutely timeless. The fundamentals of building a strong, valuable business, they haven't changed one bit. And you can see this pattern again and again throughout history. Every major tech disruption creates this bubble of hype and chaos. Look at the tulip bubble in the 1630s. Fortunes were lost, sure, but Holland became a global agricultural powerhouse. Then you have the dot-com bubble in the 2000s. Tons of companies collapsed, but the ones that survived built the internet as we know it today. The hype always dies down, but the real value, that's what remains.
Just look at the NASDAQ chart. It went through the roof and then crashed spectacularly back in 2000. It was total chaos. But look at the long-term trend. The underlying value created by the internet was absolutely real, and the people who built on that solid foundation, they were the ones who ultimately won.
So here's the key takeaway. Tactics change. Technology is always changing. Hype comes and it goes. But the core principles of business, things like creating value, building trust, and taking care of a loyal customer base, those never ever change. And that's where your focus has to be.
And all of this really leads to one fundamental question. This is about so much more than just sales tactics. This is about control. It's about freedom. It's about building the kind of business you actually want to own, one that serves your life instead of consuming it.
You know, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? The choice is simple. You can keep hunting in someone else's woods, just hoping you find something to eat, or you can learn how to build your own farm, where you know there will always be a harvest. It's the choice between hope and control.
And the benefits of taking that control, they're just immense. You get real control because you own the relationships, not Facebook, not Google. You get freedom because you can automate so much of the work. You build true value, a saleable asset, not just a job you accidentally created for yourself. And you build resilience, the ability to survive and even thrive, no matter what the economy throws at you, because you have a loyal customer base that trusts you. So I'll just leave you with this one last thought. Take a hard look at your business today and ask yourself honestly, are you building an asset that you truly own, or are you just playing a game where somebody else is making up all the rules? The choice, it's all yours.